Hey gang, Tony here, doing kind of a late yard sale haul video from this past weekend, which was the 23rd and 24th July. Doing a late one this week because we had I was at the pastrami party. That if you guys were watching my other video, you know, they make a ton of homemade pastrami, and we all eat pastrami and drink and have a good old time. So that was what I was doing most of this weekend. But I did manage to get out to the flea market. It was mostly the flea market. Strangely, there were very few yard sales for some reason. So my brother and I, you know, went around, tried to find some, hit a couple, and did manage to get some stuff. I believe everything I got was at the flea market, surprisingly enough. So first of all, I picked up an old little radio, and the reason I got this, you know, it's just a tape deck, old kind of, I don't know if it's not really a boom box, but the reason I got this is because I go to the drive-in during the summer and fall months, and one of the kind of the quirks of going to the drive-in for the triple features, you know, Camp Blood, Friday the 13th movies. I may have told you guys about the last one I went to with the Goonies, E.T., and what was the other movie? Goonies, E.T., Back to the Future. You have to tune in to the radio to hear the movie. There aren't speakers at the drive-in. You have to either sit in your car and put the radio on, or make it really loud if you're sitting outside. And during the summer, we do like to sit outside, you know, especially if I'm there with a group of people. We like to hang out, bring chairs, and it's a little annoying. Like, you can't hear it that well. You got to turn it really loud. So I decided to pick up a radio so that we could tune into the radio station and listen to the movies. They wanted $5 for it. I gave them $3 because, frankly, I don't even know if the goddamn thing works. So it did not come with the wire, which doesn't really matter for me because we're going to be using it at the drive-in, so I'm going to need batteries. But it would have been nice that I could have tested it at least before buying batteries. But that was one thing I got. I have a bag here, and yeah, these are all from one other person. There is one seller at the flea market who is fairly reasonable with his prices on video games. I believe he does like house cleanups and stuff, and he generally doesn't have like amazing stuff, but not bad. So I got a few things. Picked up South Park Chef's Love Shack on Nintendo 64, which I believe I had at one point, but then sold, I think, because I'm not a huge Nintendo 64 fan or collector, but I kind of regretted getting rid of the South Park games. So I got that one, and I also got South Park on Nintendo 64. This one's pretty dirty and got some label damage. I have yet to clean these up. You can see there. But again, I don't really collect for Nintendo 64, so not a big deal. We've got, you might remember in my last yard sale video, I mentioned that, I think I mentioned it, if not, if you watched Mr. Tony of the Dead's video, he definitely does talk about it. Crash Team Racing. We saw this at a yard sale, and I told Tony to buy it because I already own it, and it's a great game, and I said, dude, just buy it. I love it. You need it. It just so happens that this guy had it, and even though I already own it, I couldn't leave it, so I bought it anyway. It looks a little worse for wear. It may not even play. I don't know, because there are some scratches on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Pretty dirty. So I'm going to clean it up and see if it works. Part of the reason I got the copy, again, is because I could not remember if my other copy was in good shape and how the manual was and stuff. So, you know, figured I'd get another copy, see if I could swap things around a little bit. And they had another Crash game that I don't own, so I threw that in. Having trouble getting that back in the freaking case. I'll do that in a little bit. The other one is Crash Bandicoot Warped. I've not played this one, I don't own it, and I figured, what the hell? Might as well get it. So, again, with the manual, this one looked a little better. Still, you know, a little scratched up, but a little better. So, got that. And then, got a couple of Genesis games. One is Taz in Escape from Mars. I believe that's not a very expensive game, and probably not a very good game either, but I got it because it was a Genesis game from the Mega Hit series. Hey, it was a mega hit. Gotta be good, right? And I also got Doom 32X. So that's for the 32X Genesis attachment. I may have this game. I couldn't remember, so I bought it. He had a couple of GameCube games. I only bought one. Geist. Don't know anything about this one. All his stuff is always really dirty. I'm going to have to clean this stuff up. But it does have the manual, and the game... This game looked pretty good. Not as bad as the other ones. Yeah, I think it's mostly dust and fingerprints on that one. So that guy should be alright. Going to clean that one up. And finally, this is the last item I got. I haven't had this, or, you know, I don't own this. I should have checked the battery compartment. It's probably corroded in there. But it is a Game Boy printer. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what this is used for. Obviously, to print stuff. I guess the screen. You print the screen from certain games. Maybe like when you get a good score or something. But, you know, I don't own it, and it's kind of like one of those weird things that it's kind of cool, so might as well. There are batteries in there, but it does not look corroded, so that's a good sign. I'm probably going to just take these out and throw them away. I can't imagine that these are good batteries. I tried turning on the power, and nothing's happening, so I'm going to assume that these are dead batteries. Just get rid of those. That is everything. He wanted $2 per game and only $1 for the Game Boy printer, which would have come to about $15. I offered him $10, not thinking he would take it, and he took it. So I call that a good score, which is also why I bought some stuff that I may not have purchased if the prices were a little higher. The only thing that was a little annoying was that he had other stuff that he didn't bring with him. A GameCube, Super Smash Brothers on the GameCube, which I would have loved to get for $2. He said he was going to bring it on Sunday, the next day, and frankly, the flea market is far enough away that I didn't care enough to go back and try to get it, so I let it slide. Some other lucky person probably got it on Sunday. That's cool, spread the love. That is everything. Pretty small haul. Not many yard sales, but definitely some good stuff. Some of the oldest video games I've gotten in a while. Been getting mostly like PlayStation 2 and PlayStation games lately. Alright, everybody. What did you get this weekend? Sorry if I'm like, it's hot. It's hot. Breathe deep in the night. I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.